This video is brought to you by Sony. Learn what happens when artists meet engineers.
Hey, what's up? This is Jose here with Brian Altano.
What's up?
And we're gonna just recap really quickly 3 big news stories from today's Nintendo Direct. So they let off with a really cool announcement right off the bat, right?
Yeah, it was a cool one.
Yeah, Little Mac in Smash Brothers. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm a huge old school Punch-Out fan, so it was really cool, and I really like the way they have been doing this with Smash Brothers trailers for years, when they talk about new characters coming in, and it's always a nice surprise. And Little Mac looked awesome. He was an assist trophy in Brawl. So I remember when I first saw that, I was like, he's got to be a full playable character. Never happened. Now it did. Yeah,
it's really cool. It's nice to see, too, that there were some ideas borrowed from Punch-Out on Wii that was made by Next Level Games. It's nice to see that inclusion, and Nintendo always has an awesome way of embracing their history and finding a unique way to spin them in. I like that he had his own trailer, too, where it was like sort of the animated opening, and then it turned into actual in-game footage, including 3DS footage.
Yeah, exactly. And the cel-shaded Punch-Out stuff was really cool to see for the 3DS. It's the first time we've actually seen Punch-Out in an art style kind of like that. I did notice that Doc, his trainer, was talking over the whole thing. Hoping that's not a thing when we're actually playing Smash Brothers, because that could get really annoying for some of my competitors if I'm sitting there and Doc's yelling at him the whole time. But I'm going to be yelling at him anyway, so even if Doc goes, I'm sticking around.
Yeah, sure. All right, so then after that, another big announcement was Game Boy Advance games are finally coming to Virtual Console.
They're trickling out, little by little. I mean, there's a library of hundreds of GBA games, but we're going to get 3 of them in April.
Yeah, so they only announced 3 and there are more to come, and 3 that they announced were Metroid Fusion, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, and finally Yoshi's Island. They had Super Mario, whatever. Remember, it was basically the Super NES point of Yoshi's
Super Mario Brothers 5, Advance 4, Legend of 3, Volume 2.
Exactly.
Yeah, their numbering system was a little off on the GBA. I think it was always one behind, because Super Mario Advance 1 was actually Super Mario Brothers 2 US. It's tricky.
It's a strange system.
Anyway, it's the Yoshi's Island
I like that
game.
they just went to the Yoshi's Island.
Yeah.
The disappointment for me there, first of all, I think it's great GBA games are coming to Virtual Console. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, we're finally getting a 2D Metroid.
Oh, yeah! Oh, man. We should have high-fived there.
Yeah,
but it's too late.
Okay.
But you're right. Yeah, no, and I'm really happy about this announcement, but I am disappointed that the only way Yoshi's Island has lived on right now is through the GBA port, which is probably, it's not the best version of that game. Yoshi's Island as the Super Nintendo game was really colorful, had really cool effects, touch fuzzy, get dizzy, memorable moments like that, and the GBA port just doesn't handle that well. But regardless, GBA games in general is a cool sort of fit. I'll be interested to see how they fit on TV, how they look. Will they have sort of how are they handling the whole image stretching and whatnot?
Sure. If you never own a Game Boy Advance, I mean, there was tons of awesome titles there, and if you had a 3DS, that actually phased out the GBA port, and so did the DSi, I believe. So we haven't really had a legit way to play Game Boy Advance titles for a few years, unless you bought a 3DS early and you
had a Game Boy Player, and the Game Boy Player had different visual filters. So I hope that sort of is embedded into this, right? That it's going to work that way, but we'll see.
Yeah, so it's cool.
So then the last big news story, Mario Kart 8, an announcement that the Koopalings, all 7 of them, will be added to the roster in Mario Kart 8. There was a new trailer, it looked amazing.
So how do you think that's going to be? You think they're just going to be like one box so you can switch through all 7, or you got to pick each one?
Or they'll add, all 7. I mean, I don't know if they'd be unlockable or something like that, but it was really cool to see all of them there. It's a much better decision than, remember on Mario Kart Wii, Funky Kong? Like, who asked for that?
You got a big problem with that, dude.
I do.
What's your problem with Funky Kong?
It just wasn't. You don't have a problem with Funky Kong?
No, I think he's fine. He's a laid back. He runs an airline.
He's lying. There's an NBC rant of him talking all about Funky Kong.
I think Funky Kong's fine. He's fine.
Yeah.
He's garbage.
All right.
See me in the streets, Funky Kong.
It's a really good choice. I think
I'll knock that bandana off your head.
It's a really good choice, I think, for the game, and it's within the Mario universe, whereas Funky Kong is Donkey Kong.
Yeah, and the game looks awesome. Like, I mean, every time we see a little more about Mario Kart, I'm more and more convinced this is going to be probably the best one of the franchise yet.
And we got a date?
Yeah.
Right?
What's that?
May 30th.
Oh, look at that!
Look at that! Yeah.
Busy. It's gonna be a busy month for Nintendo fans, right? Got a lot of stuff that month.
Yeah, that's right. A lot of stuff on 3DS between now and then as well, as you saw. Well, if you want a full, comprehensive recap of Nintendo Direct, make sure to check out our articles on IGN. And for more Nintendo coverage, conversations, whatever you want, keep it right here at IGN.
Unless you're Funky Kong.